guys, I'm Jessica Mulder, and this is the Hard Way Pod. It's a podcast about learning from your mistakes the hard way. And if you're not sure what that is, it means you're not living life properly, really, because that's just how we learn everything. You do something and you're like, I know I shouldn't do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Whoops, that was stupid. Here's what happened because of it. So today we've got our awesome guest, Fanto, comedian, everybody's favorite baby daddy. Welcome, Fanto. He applauds himself. Welcome. Thank you for coming.
I'm applauding the podcast. So you finally fucking started something entertaining.
Oh, my God. First things first, he insults the host. I thought you were going to blast me for booking you on it like months ago and then always changing the date. And
yeah,
canceling.
that also happened.
Yeah.
Well, but you're I think you're like one of the few females I respect in my life.
Oh, Jesus.
And so, I'll let it pass.
Thank you. Well, I'm finally glad that I got you in here. And so just knowing you've learned some things the hard way, right? You've made some mistakes in your life, huh?
Yeah, this is one of them, doing this podcast.
We'll see, dude. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of little things that I'm currently probably making mistakes on that I'll tell you about before I get into my story, because I know in the past few weeks, listeners, we haven't started the pod with the topic because I've been kind of feeling it out, changing the format since Nick isn't here. And today I actually have like a topic to kind of keep us in line. But first I will say that if you watched episode 7 or listened to episode 7, which was Don't Live Beyond Your Means, where me and the guest Julian Stern talked about our $25,000 in credit card debt and all that, and getting those consolidator companies. Well, I've been working with this company that's supposed to like deal with the debt consolidation firm that I used, because I was like, how am I paying so much money and it's not going down? And so I was like, I'm going to take this risk and stop paying this bill so it defaults and my credit drops 150 points, because this guy was like, don't worry, we got it. We're going to negotiate it and we're going to make sure you pay $5,000 less. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, it might be, because these motherfuckers have not been answering me, and I don't know what's going on, but I know that a lot of people are mad and I owe a lot of money. So stay tuned on that front, guys. Careful with those companies.
Can I make a guess on what ethnicities people are?
No. It's actually, well, you can if you want, but I bet you'll be wrong, because this sounded like the whitest guy ever, if that's what you were going with.
Okay, I thought it was my cousins.
Oh. Your cousins, huh? Would they be the people that would like see that I'm in debt, contact me, and then be like, we'll help you?
Yeah, because I would give him your number.
Oh my God, what a jerk. Fanto is a jerk, everybody.
Vladimir, this is, there is Jessica.
Yeah. Wait, is that Russian or Ukrainian?
The same shit.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting because my story today involves Russians. So what we're going to be talking about is be careful who you trust, which also goes into the whole thing with the credit companies. But yeah, if you've ever been around somebody, and if you're like me, I'm kind of like the type of person that, despite being burned by so many people, I still give the new person the benefit of the doubt, because I'm like, oh, well, you're a new person. You're a different person. Maybe
I thought you were a Capricorn.
I am a Capricorn. He's always blasting me about not being a Capricorn properly. Please explain yourself.
If one person does something bad to me, I'm ruined the rest of my life.
Just for that person, though?
No, everyone that reminds me of that person.
Oh, yeah.
How are you so forgiving?
I don't know, and that's a problem. But that's the whole thing, is that, like, I'll still keep my eye on them, but that doesn't mean that I won't give them a chance.
Keep your eye on them?
Yeah, I'll keep my eyes peeled. But it doesn't mean I won't give them a chance. Like, I just feel like that's such a harsh way to live, to just be always, like, assuming the worst.
So I don't get all this, like, zodiac connections and shit,
Well, no, but I kind of do, like, in a way, because when I think about it,
because we have a lot of similarities,
right? And we are a similar zodiac. But I also wonder, because depending on where you fall in it, which is like, please take this with a grain of salt, because I don't know anything about, like, I'm not like a super zodiac person that knows all the secrets. But
wait, you don't mean you're not like a fucking numerologist?
No, is that what it is? A numerologist?
Yeah.
No. Astrology expert, no, but I do like pay attention.
Yeah, but numerologists, when they connect like your birthday, and your sun rising, and all this other gay shit that I learned.
Yeah, no, but I'm not, and I don't know that, but I do see connections in it. Like I said, we do have a lot of similar traits. We're both Capricorns.
Name one.
Well, we're both assholes, apparently. Jeez. No, well, I don't know. I feel like we're just both like hard.
I like this podcast.
We're both hardworking people, And like Capricorns in themselves almost like work too hard to a fault. Like they're just always doing something. Like you don't know how to relax, you know? I never really know how to relax. So, because I always have to be doing something.
Yeah.
But I also think like depending on what date you're in, like you said with the numerology, it'll be different. Like I'm further on the later end of Capricorn and you're closer to the beginning. So
also, you're one of the few people I feel comfortable with.
Yeah, well, maybe it has to do with the stars.
Yeah,
the stars. So,
I want to hear this story.
All right.
I still can't believe you're so like. I don't even trust you.
well,
like I like you a lot.
Yeah. Well, no, yeah.
Close to loving you, and I respect you as much as I can respect women.
Oh my God.
But I don't even like. I trust you zero.
Yeah. Well, trusting somebody depends on what you trust them with. I guess is what I'm saying. Like. There's certain people, like, I'm not going to automatically, like you were talking about the dude who got his phone stolen. Like, I'm not going to automatically like hand some stranger my phone.
Don't put that on. Yeah.
No, I won't say his name, but like, I won't, I'm not going to just like hand some lunatic my shit knowing that people are pieces of shit. But I still, I'm not going to be like, oh, this one quality reminds me of someone else. That means they're automatically everything else about them is like that.
Yeah.
But generally, I don't just automatically trust you and then take it away. Like, you still have to earn it, but I still feel like I still get burned. So this story isn't...
You seem like a very mature person. Like, I'm trying to be like that.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to... Every time something happens, I'm like, oh, it's probably going to happen the way this specific thing happened years ago.
Yeah, but that's how you end up with a self-fulfilling prophecy of creating like the situation for yourself. You end up inviting that bullshit if you assume the worst on the front end, because then you have to think however you're acting is going to attract that same bullshit,
100%.
Yeah. So in this situation, this story that I'm going to tell you is not my fault at all. These people just were terrible. Okay. So so I'm living in New York. I'm about 25 years old. And I worked a bunch of like little jobs when I was living there. And so one of them that I got hired on, because I was working for this like pro-choice organization doing like canvassing door to door, which is the worst, especially in the winter. It's like, hey, please give me money for like an abortion company. Like, people don't like that, Yeah. So I found like a friend of mine hooked me up with her friend, because she was like in jewelry school and designing jewelry. And she hooked me up with her friend's fiance, who
hooked up as in romantically?
No, like with a job.
Yeah.
That owned a jewelry store in Park Slope in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he's 23, so he owns a jewelry store. I'm 25. He's hiring me as like a salesperson, which I'm terrible at.
Yeah.
But he also figured out I could do graphic design, so I ended up doing like their cutting out the jewelry and their photos and doing their website. So I had like that at least paid me hourly when I made zero commission at selling anything.
Oh, so you can do that?
Yeah.
Make websites and shit.
Yeah, I do. God, he's like, he acts like he knows me, doesn't know what my job is. Yes, I'm like a graphic designer, art person. That's my day job. So, but
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Or maybe did I know that and I forgot?
You might have. I don't know. Well, now you know.
All right.
But anyway, so it's this Russian guy and his family. Apparently,
what kind of Russian? Because there's different Russians.
Baharian Russian Jews.
Okay.
And they refer to themselves.
The fuck is Baharian?
I don't. It's a specific sect of Sephardic Russian Jews. Okay.
Yeah.
And they refer to themselves, their words, as the barbarians of the Russian Jews, which made sense later. Okay, so
what's the difference?
I don't know. What? Fanto's coming in misogynist and racist. Get the fuck out. God, Jesus.
You want views, motherfucker.
Oh my God. So anyway, I get hired by this. I get hired by this 20.
Why didn't you introduce him?
Because he's not on it. Well, hello, Alex. Alex is our engineer today.
What's up, guys? I mean, typically I don't speak unless.
Yeah.
Don't speak unless spoken to.
Yeah.
This is Jessica's show, man. I'll let Jess go for it.
At least show some respect.
But
oh my God, he comes in here like he owns the place.
I do appreciate the shout out. If you have a question, I can chime in, but I don't want to, co-opt.
Yeah. I mean, fuck it, dude. If you hear something, you want to say something, go ahead.
Well, I am Jewish more culturally than actually. I haven't been in temple in like a decade.
Yeah.
But I'm familiar with the Baharian Jews.
You are?
Yeah.
How many Christian babies have you murdered?
Anyway, so
just ignore him.
in terms of like I've heard them referenced.
Yeah.
But real quick on that note, pre-Holocaust, there was a big split between German Jews and Russian Jews. Are you Jewish? No, you're not Jewish, right? No. So German Jews were looked for them to like generalize. They were a lot more of like intellectual. Russian Jews were more like
Drinking.
Yeah, like the hardy, tough
yeah.
kind of guys, right? And so when Russian Jews came into America, the descendants of the German Jews who were here, they kind of looked down on them.
Yeah.
And so like the word kike, which is like the N-word for Jewish people, it kind of is phased out now, but it used to be a really dirty slur.
Yeah.
That came from American Jews talking down to like Eastern European Jews that were coming into America, because the Yiddish word for circle is keikel, because instead of putting like an X, like a cross, they wanted to put a circle to like separate themselves from Christians. And then so like Americanized German descendant Jews were like, look at these dirty kikes from Eastern Europe. And then like Hitler showed up and we all had to kind of get together because yeah. Anyway, that's my quick anecdote on
I like that. That's interesting. Okay, that backs
and that's
it up.
the end of the podcast.
That backs it up. So anywho.
No, that's good, man.
So yeah, so this 23-year-old owns a fucking jewelry store.
The more you know.
Yeah. This 23-year-old Baharian Russian Jew owns a jewelry store in fucking Park Slope, Brooklyn.
What's his name?
His name, I don't want to say his name.
You don't have to say the last name.
His name is Lenny.
Okay.
Lenny.
Oh yeah, that's like assimilated Russian Jew.
Okay. Well, anyway, he owns
Leonid. It feels like Leonid. I was like, all right.
He owns this store, and he hired me, right, to work there. Okay.
Yeah.
He's really cool, chill, smokes weed, whatever. We're hanging out. His little brother, 21, owns another jewelry store just a little bit down the same block, right? So I'm like, these motherfuckers are rich. They've got money. They're young as shit. They're running their own companies. They're good at it, but like they have this like big ass mansion, like brownstone there. And we're all really cool. We become really cool, right? And then all of a sudden there's this other chick. I'm going to give her a different name so that I don't put them together. I'm going to call her
Sashinka.
I'm going to call her
Alexandra. Masha.
Let's call her Olga, okay?
No, that's a fat bitch name.
No. All right.
Was she a fat bitch?
No.
God, Fanto, you're really doubling down on.
No.
Wait, what? You don't think Olga's a fat bitch name?
You're gonna get.
I'm gonna plead the fifth, but
or like an older grandma.
Svetlana. Okay, we're gonna call her Svetlana.
Svetlana sounds sexy.
So anyway,
that's a pretty girl name.
Supposedly Lenny is like.
I'm very imaginative.
Is engaged to this chick that's friends with my friend, but they break up quickly, and then he starts dating Svetlana, his sales associate, who. Svetlana is really good at sales and really cute and hot and whatever. We all become friends, you know, because I'm there all the time and we're all hanging out until all of a sudden, like one day, it's like months in, and I start to kind of hear her, like she starts befriending me and sort of telling me like how he's kind of like being abusive, you know, and he's like very controlling, and he's very like, because he's like looking at her like from his religious background and like their cultural background, like she's not a virgin, and he's like hooking up with her, but he won't marry her because she's quote unquote spoiled milk. One, because she's older. She's like 26, and that's like old for them.
Grandma.
Yeah, right. That's old for them.
Get
and
out
he's
of
like,
the house.
yeah, you can like give me a blowjob, but I'm not going to marry you, you dirty slut. And I'm like, that's really not good for you. What are you doing? This guy isn't good.
New York.
So she's shut up. So she's confiding in me. Fanto, you're embarrassing me 10 minutes in. Okay, God.
What do you mean I'm embarrassing you?
Real quick, Fanto, can I ask your background?
I'm Ukrainian, Armenian, Italian.
Yeah, bro, you're like, man, if I were to just picture, like, you're like a bottle of cologne just became a person. You know what I mean?
Weren't you supposed to chime in if someone asked you a question?
All right, I'm sorry. I'll stop.
Anyway.
No, but that's good. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
So, okay, so fucking Svetlana and him are having issues, and like she's like confiding in me like a good friend, whatever. Okay. And then all of a sudden one day, and I was doing stand up over there, and one day she calls me crying, and she's like, he like beat me up. He beat me up. I need you to help me. And I was like, come to my house. Don't tell him where you're going. Because he didn't really know where I live. Because like all this shit was like under the table. Like I wasn't like tax forms and whatever. I got paid in cash. And of course, you know, it was some like fucking crazy shit going on there with these fancy jewelry stores that like barely sold anything.
Beach.
But shush.
Sorry. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, right. Okay, so anyway, so she comes to my house, and I had a show, so I was like, I'm gonna go to this show. Don't answer your phone, stay here. I'll be back in a little bit, but you can't like answer him. He's gonna try and like apologize, and like she's like comes over like a little scuffled up, and
wait, is she beaten up?
She's got like she's all crying. She's got like a bloody nose, but she's not like but her face isn't like super distraught. But she's like clearly got into some shit. She doesn't want to call the police or anything, but she just wants to get away because she's afraid of him and his family, which apparently because they have a lot of money. and a lot of pull, and like she's like surviving on him because she's like, he pays me in cash. If he takes my money away, I can't go anywhere, that sort of thing.
Fuck.
So she ends up staying at my apartment, and then I go to the show. I come back, she's gone. And I'm like, uh-oh. And she's like texting me and saying like, oh, he apologized and said I can leave, but he just wants to pay me out for like the last couple bits of work. And I was like, don't go there. Don't do it. And she's like, no, it'll be fine. And then I was like, well, I'm not going to go there again. And like, because I'm like, fuck this guy. I'm not working for this guy. And so I end up like telling him like, look, you know, he's like trying to figure out when I'm working next. And I was like, look, I'm not going to work for you anymore. I'm sorry. I can't do this. And I didn't like call her out because I didn't want to get her hurt more. Yeah. But I was just like, look, these things aren't working out. I'm not working with you anymore. Right. And so
you're 25 and how old is he?
23.
This is the Lenny.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I quit. And then she ends up texting me saying, you know, and I'm trying to help her out and be like, hey, you should leave. You can come back here. You can stay here as long as you need to get away. You know, just don't tell him like where I live, and you can be safe. And she sort of like changes. She flips and she goes, I don't know what you're talking about. He didn't do anything to me. Like, you're making things bigger than they are. She's like, he didn't never hurt me. I was just kidding. You know, I was like, oh my God, typical like abused woman trying to be safe. He's probably like hovering over her right now.
Yeah.
And then I start getting phone calls from him being like, you know, you're out here saying that I did some fucked up shit, because she's clearly now ratting me out to him and saying that I'm telling her that he's a piece of shit, which he is, and she's turned on me. And so
why is he a piece of shit? Because
he beat her up.
According to her,
he did. I believe he beat her up because that's why the other woman that was his fiance left him for the similar reasons, because he's got anger issues. Okay. You know,
I thought I knew where this was going.
No, but so then so then basically she, you know, she just tells me that I'm full of shit. He's calling me being like, you know, I'll ruin your life if you tell everybody that to me. Wow. That like, he's like, you're out here trying to besmirch my name. Like, I'm, you know, I didn't do anything wrong. You're, you know, it's like, don't fuck with me, blah, blah, blah. You don't know who I am, that sort of shit. And I'm like, whoa. So I'm just ignoring his like voicemails. And then they still owe me some money. So I'm telling her, I'm like, I want to come in and get my last bit of money. And she's like, okay, you can come into the store. He's not here. So she's now back at the store. Everything's fine with them. And I go in to pick up my $500 cash that they owe me, and she gives me a check, and I'm like, why are you giving me a check when normally he never pays in checks? And she's told me before that when she's broken up in previous like years that they've been together, that he would like write her a check and then cancel it. So I was like, he's gonna cancel this the moment that I try to cash it. You said that he does it. She's like, no, he won't do it to you. He only does it to me. So she wouldn't give me cash. I was like, okay. So the first thing I do, because I'm like, fuck this, they're gonna screw me, I take it straight to a check cashing store. Yeah. And when you do that, they have to call and authorize, because people obviously try to steal stuff and then get it immediately cashed. So the check cashing store calls the store, talks to her, and she's like, yes, go ahead and cash it. Right. So they cash it, and I get my money. Everything's fine, I think. A couple weeks starts going by, and like I'm getting phone calls from his cousin, who I was also friends with, because we all hung out a lot, and he's like, I'm driving by your apartment. Come out. I just want to talk to you. So like people are like driving by my apartment, pissed, and in this real time,
don't fuck around.
I get contacted by a detective after I get contacted by the check cashing store saying, the owner or the check writer, like whatever, the business owner put a stop payment on the check and marked it as fraud. So you owe us $500. The check cashing store says, and I said, no, the fuck I don't, because I knew he was going to do this. You guys already called and authorized. You need to figure this out with them, because I deserve this money, and that's it.
Yeah, legally they can't actually do anything about that. They're just trying to scare you.
Yeah, exactly. So the check cashing store is just thinking like probably easier to get it back from me than from him, right? So then all of a sudden this detective, quote unquote, calls me and is like, yeah, we're working with the case. Like, Lenny says that you stole this money and da-da-da-da-da, so you need to give us this money back. And I'm like, no, I didn't steal this money. The check cashing store authorized. And also, secondly, if you really think I stole it, why don't you check the cameras? Because I bet you're going to see more than that, because he beat her up at the store and there were cameras everywhere. So there probably is footage of that in that week, and definitely not footage of me stealing a check. So I'm dealing with this detective supposedly that's saying he's working on it, and I'm just like refusing to pay. And then eventually I get like an actual like real law enforcement person. So this was clearly one of their people that they were trying to get to scare me.
Yeah, I know for a fact that if there was a detective investigating it, he would not talk to you over the phone like that. He would either get you in person,
right,
or they would have you come into a police station.
Exactly.
Or that, yeah, that's a complete.
Exactly.
Police don't threaten you over the phone.
Exactly. And where's the police report? So when I did get contacted because the check cashing store was starting like legal claims, like when they contacted me to figure it out, they were like, I was like, please locate a police report where this fucker actually called the police and said I stole this check, and they couldn't. And so then that was kind of like when it all went away. But I did change my phone number because they were always calling me and leaving me threatening messages, threatening to like kill my family and shit. And I'm like, wow, this is awesome, you know? So basically, be careful who you trust, especially when you think they're your friend that you're trying to help, because they will turn on you, and then you'll get fake detectives and crazy Russians threatening your life driving by your house.
Yeah. So you think so? Did you get that money back?
I had the money to begin with, so I didn't have to pay it back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you think she set you up with them?
I think that she like really wanted to get.
She was trying to set up both of you.
I think she really wanted to get away, and like, but she was afraid of him, and so she went back to him because there was nothing else she could do, and then so she turned on me to survive, and then I think that she was hoping that he wouldn't cancel the check or didn't really care at that point. I think for her it was just probably survival, and she's like, I just need, you can go, but like this is what he told me to do, and I'm not going to get in trouble by giving you cash. Like, because if she would have given me cash when he said to give me a check, then she probably would have gotten beat up again, you know? So I think that if anything, like, I'm not mad at her for that, because I'm like, well, you're trying to survive, but I also think like, fuck you, all of you. And I will. But to your point though, like they're about like when you can't trust people, like unfortunately, and I hate to sound like racist and blanket against a group of people.
No, you better not say anything offensive.
But if I ever meet a Baharian Russian Jew that reminds me of Lenny, I'm not gonna fucking be friends with you.
So all Jews?
No, that specific type. I remember. I remember her telling me we are considered the barbarians.
Yeah. As a Jew,
that's not racist.
As the only Jew in the room, I will say at least it's like a stereotype that's like different than the normal one. Like that sounds more like if you were to ask me like what if I had to generalize, I'd say like, oh, it sounds like Italian or Armenian or whatever. Like we would like the stereotypes about us is like we're like at high level banking fraud or something, like Bernie Madoff, right? Like you don't think of like the Jewish criminal as like the low level guy in the jewelry store writing bad checks.
Yeah. But I mean, they had a ton of money.
He's gonna chime in every time we say Jewish.
Yeah.
Just to give us the history.
Well, we need a Jew in the room to like back up our claims here.
No, I think. Have you ever spoken to them? Have you ever gotten in touch with them?
No, not since then. They were threatening me. I blocked their.
So
I changed my phone number.
I grew up with girls like that. I've done all types of shit.
Okay.
With all types of people, and I wouldn't be surprised if she was in on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. See, yet I was even so forgiving, being like, you were just trying to survive.
No.
But like, what's the point?
Listen. People get set up, and they always use, like Training Day. Have you seen Training Day? When he gets set up by that Russian bitch. But like Eastern European, when I like Russian, Armenian, Ukrainian, they're the most down girls. It's like especially like growing up here, we used to. I mean, I had like Mexicans, blacks, but it's. I got set up by like some chick on Party Line.
What is Party Line?
Party Line. So Party Line was like the Tinder before Tinder.
It sounds like a party.
Yeah. This is.
That's where you get all the STDs.
Wait, can I ask where did Party Line live? Was it an app or was it like
it's a phone number?
A phone number.
It's still 818-474-1474.
And it's
but before I'll tell that story is most Americans, they're very nice and like I don't want to say gullible.
I'm very gullible.
Yeah. But you like the way you're describing her. I've known many girls like that.
She was cool. We were close.
To you, I've known girls that are so manipulative.
Well, she is, and she was
and
a good salesman.
To this day, you think that she was having an issue with the guy, but if you've never seen them, I'm pretty sure she's still marking on people. Yeah. Doing some other types of shit.
So like, what they're trying to get me out of like they're rich. They're trying to get me out of $500. I just don't understand.
You don't know anything about them.
You're right. I don't.
It's all appearance.
Yeah.
It's all appearance.
But you're right. She was a good salesperson, and they're married now. So fuck.
How do you know?
Because I've like stalked her on Facebook since then.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're married, so clearly they're fine.
Yeah, she goes, the same girl, you're like, she was terrified of him.
Yeah.
Ends up marrying the guy that
yeah,
you
but
thought
also
they was
there's
terrified.
plenty of women that like marry abusers and are still abused.
That's not the same.
Yeah.
It's the narrative that they play out in courtrooms, that they play out in it's a very strong narrative.
Yeah.
That, everyone uses. Like, it's like anytime something happens, women are like, "Oh, it wasn't my fault."
Yeah,
it wasn't my fault.
Well, that's fucked up though, to like use like a real narrative to do some bullshit, because now it takes.
But what
away
else
from
would
the
you
people.
use other than something that has precedence?
Yeah, I guess that's true. You can't.
You can't use something that you have no idea about.
Yeah.
They're not gonna tell you about something. Like, but that's always it's always happened. Like if
I feel so duped still. Now I feel like even more duped, because like to this day I still felt bad for her, but I'm like, why? You're right. She probably was in on it the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? What? That's so much work to be an asshole though. Why? I don't get it.
Yeah. So when you want to say something? Go ahead. Say something.
I was just gonna say that probably is like generations back. Like they're to generalize here based on the stereotypes I've heard about the Baharian, whatever they're called. Like, she didn't invent that. I'm sure like her great grandma was doing that shit in the old country, right? And then
you don't have to find reasons for the things people do. It's like,
see, that's a good point.
No,
like,
it's
you
like,
don't have to explain why. Like, there's no.
She's not making generalizations about Baharian Jews or whatever. You don't have to be like, oh, maybe it's like you don't know anything about her. You don't know anything about her. You don't know anything about her grandparents.
It could just be her being
people.
A piece of shit.
That's fair.
They're doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you feel bad or you like. You don't have to. Has no bearing on you, bro. Like, if some shit happens with people who are like, and I'm like, hey, everything is case specific. If you want to make generalizations, and that's your fucking problem. I mean, you have to make generalizations in terms of like if it's money's involved, safety's involved,
totally.
And also, but like, I mean, it's like, I was born in the Soviet Union, so everybody's doing all this. I've been did so much fraud. Credit cards, put everything. But it's like you just fucking make money. Some motherfuckers go rob a bank.
Yeah.
Some motherfuckers sell drugs. You just got to do something with a high profit and low cost.
Yeah.
And then they go, oh, this person. It doesn't matter what this person. If it was not a Jew, it'd be fucking a Georgian. If it was not a Georgian, it'd be a Puerto Rican. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you get caught, you get caught.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you're coming from Florida?
Yeah.
To fucking Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Like it's like someone. And then it's like these people are coming from Russia.
Yeah.
It's like, have you been to Russia?
No.
Like, I went to Russia. My uncle picked me up from the airport. My uncle's, rest his soul, he died like last year.
Oh.
And he's been in prison most of his life. And he picked me up from the airport. And he's like 6'3", used to be a weightlifter. Just by the time we got into Moscow near the Kremlin, he got out of his car twice. Because motherfuckers are driving like maniacs, and you have to be very aggressive.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be. It's a survival of the fittest. So that's why when immigrants come into this country, they immediately rise to the top. Where such as Americans, such as yourself, I also see you as an American because you're very like nice and you're very protective.
Yeah, I'm an American. I was born here. Yeah.
Yeah. And you have no sense of like, you don't seem like you've struggled.
Yeah,
I've been very lucky. Yes.
But I wasn't born here, but at the same point.
Yeah, but I know where you were born. But no,
but it's not the same. It's like that's like an island, relaxed place.
Like
Dutch people,
like these people. Like when I'm talking to my family members.
Yeah.
Like they're like we're not talking about about the past.
I get what you're saying.
Like we don't like. I'm the only one to not go to prison in my family. You get what I'm saying?
Good for you.
No, but it's like I mean I can't believe I'm not in jail. But
well, you've been in jail a bunch. Let's talk about your birthday. No.
Yeah.
Like this year on his birthday, I was like, I texted him like, "Happy birthday!" I'm like, "Hope you didn't end up in jail this time."
Yeah, because I did almost go to jail last birthday.
Fanto, let's hear about the party line.
All right,
tell me about this girl that's just like Svetlana.
No. This was a ghetto fucking Spanish bitch.
Can I ask a party line question really quick?
Yeah.
I'll stop. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Actually, I'll say another story before the party line.
Okay. What's the party line question? Go.
Just, is it a random person or do they work for party line?
No, it's a party line. Is you call them and then they go, all right, and then you get paired.
Oh.
And then if the person is a guy or a girl, you just press 1 and then it pairs you again. And then if you like this person, you talk.
So it's like chat roulette.
It was before cell phones.
It's like chat roulette, but on the phone.
Before cell phones.
Oh, wow.
So
you're not that old. How did you even know about this? How do they even?
11, 12 years old. That's
Oh, so you were like 11.
I was 11 when I fucked this 18-year-old.
What?
Yeah.
Holy shit. How does an 11-year-old?
I grew up in a fucking ghetto.
Oh man!
Like,
all right, we gotta hear.
We fucking.
Tell me some shit. Dude.
I saw some dude get his brains blown out in front of me when I was 12.
Jesus Christ.
And then the cops came and they looked at my grandma, my Russian grandma. She was born in Azerbaijan, which is they created for the fucking dirty Muslims, and in Russia, and then now they went to war with fucking Georgia and Armenia. But they're not real. They're not a real nationality. They're just fucking rape babies of the Seljuk Turks.
Oh my goodness. This is gonna be quite the hour. Buckle up, buttercups.
So,
let's go, Fanto.
No, there's like 30 minutes left.
All right, let's hear.
Right, 30 minutes left.
Exactly 30 minutes left.
Well, good. We got 30 minutes of Fanto. Bring it on.
Cops came and I immediately told my grandma, I just saw a murder happen, and then she goes, like, nichevo не скажи. Like, don't say anything. And then immediately the cops came. They broke, like, they knocked down. The cops came, and my grandma she turned red. And I was like, I didn't see anything. But the guy's his fucking.
But you did. But she told you not to say anything.
I was the only one who saw him shoot the other guy. And then the other guy's mom and sister, they're like crying. They're fucking screaming. And then the cop is like, you're gonna go to fucking prison.
To you?
To us. And then my mom walks in, and my mom's like, get the fuck out of the house to the cops, and. You know.
Well, so why not say anything, and why would you go to prison? Because you're not saying anything?
The cops are saying, no, they're just trying to scare you.
Right, but that's right, because you have like,
this is the late 90s. The cops don't give a fuck about, like, this is the fucking.
Yeah, they're not
someone
on
just got his brains blown out. They're not going to be like, hey, who are you?
Yeah.
They're going to like immediately. That's when you get information. It's immediately after trauma.
Yeah.
And then they use it in court, and then it switches fucking now, a decade later, they find out that it fucks it with the memory, blah, blah, blah. But that's immediately when something happens. Hurry up, say what happened, say what happened. Anyway, that has nothing to do with it. So I like, this was like 2 years ago. I get, before the party line, oh man, the party line's exciting, but also this is like a cool story.
All right, well tell them
because this has to do with like acting and comedy. So I get a LA casting fucking page. Mm-hmm. Actors Access and all this fucking shit.
Right.
I'm submitting.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I get like generic texts. Email this to. I got this text. Email your headshots for a chance to be in this big feature.
Yeah.
And because every day you just blah blah blah. So yeah, email. And then I get an email back. Congratulations, we've selected you and several other people for this big feature film that you'll get paid $500 to $1,000 if selected. Blah blah blah. You're in the, and I'm like, oh man, this is cool because I'm right in the beginning. I have no idea what sending shit is.
Yeah.
Headshot. I just got headshots. I got a garbage fucking resume.
Yeah, you're just trying to build it. Yeah.
I just whatever. I go to auditions. I don't book anything. Sometimes you go here and there as an extra. And then maybe 3 weeks later, and it's a Jaime Quintero at this film studios, blah, blah, blah. And I think I do like a quick Google research, and it's like this film studios is in New York or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they go, hey, so we've selected you to be in this. And the email is so professional. It's like there's like a couple of big-time celebrities, a couple of models. We're going to send you. We're going to send you for fitting. You're going to get paid for fitting, and then you're going to get paid for your time and then we're going to pay you this much time. Yeah. We're going to pay you so like maybe $1,000, $2,000.
Right.
And I go, oh my God, I get so fucking excited.
Yeah.
Because I'm on unemployment and so and then this guy, he said, can I get your email? Because what happened was I had to send him. I was staying with my cousin. Mm-hmm. And and my cousin's like fucking tatted, fresh out of prison. Him and his just fucking North Hollywood. Like there's always someone posted. You know, it's a hood place. All of his homies they're always fucking posted.
Yeah.
And I send him because he's like, all right, we're gonna send you mail, and then he goes, all right, what's your phone number? So we started communicating via text. He goes, hey, man, we've selected you as one of the actors. And so what's going to happen is we're going to send you, you're gonna get $1,000 for fitting, and then 500, or depends on where the location is, 500 to another 1,000 for the shoot.
Yeah.
Or I don't remember the details, wherever it was. And I'm like, what the fuck? $1,000 right now? He goes, okay. And then he says, hey, also there's a change of plans. We're gonna send you $8,500. He goes, but we had something happened where we need you to keep the 1,000 and then send it was just like, he's like, it's a minor policy. What is it? The payroll? He goes, we had a payroll mix up.
Yeah.
So just keep the 1,000 for yourself, and then send the 7.5 to the costume.
Ooh!
And I'm like, but this is so professional. And I'm like,
this is like similar to something that happened to this dude a couple episodes ago too. But
and
it
then,
was with like a job.
And then I'm like, cause in the back of my mind, I'm like, there is no way.
Yeah.
There is no way that they're trying to use that fucking cleaning money that I've only heard about.
Yeah.
I've only heard about my fucking other friends who do always illegal shit. That they've picked me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wait a second, let me call this motherfucker. So his name is Jaime Quintero. I have the email.
Right.
So I call him maybe a couple of times. Has no voicemail. So I go into the website. Has no definite address. So I call the number with extension. The number doesn't go through. So the next time he texts me, he only texts me at a specific time from 8 a.m. until 10 p.m.
Okay.
10 a.m. 8 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Okay.
He texts me. I go, hey man, I'm trying to call you. I have a couple of questions. I'm like, there's no way he's gonna send me fucking 8.5.
Yeah, but I bet it feels like you're like, I hope it's true.
Yeah, because
you really need it.
Yeah, and I'm like, this is no fucking way, because it's already been like almost 3 weeks that I'm communicating with him.
Yeah.
So he picks up the phone, and it's this African accent.
Oh shit.
And I'm like, hey,
Jaime Quintero, you are not.
I'm like, hey man, am I speaking to Jaime Quintero? And he's like, yes, this is he, and just heavy fucking African accent.
Yeah.
I go, all right, so what's gonna happen? I'm like, all right, man, just let me know so I can send it. He's like, okay, so I'll just text you. I'm like, oh, you don't want to tell me? He's like, no, I'm very busy. We got other shit. I'll just text you. So he knows that he doesn't want me, but I'm speaking like this. Hi, Jaime Quintero. Yes, my name is Fanto. Yes. Yes, whenever the check arrives, I will be surely to send it to you. Yes. You know, I'm speaking as fucking white American, fucking that I'm not a fucking dirty immigrant sound voice ever. I wake up, check my fucking account, 8.5 G's.
Oh!
And I'm like, there's no way. You can say something.
It's just incredible, that's all. Yeah.
Bro, so this is unreal when I'm saying this, but I have everything.
Yeah.
I go, there's no fucking way. So I'm driving, and I have a passenger in my fucking Uber, and I'm like, hey, I'm sorry, I'm like, I have to stop there. I have to stop here. Swear to anything. She goes, I'm in a hurry. I go, all right, well, trip's over. You got to get another Uber. She's like, what do you mean? I go.
1 star.
I go, hurry up. It's an emergency.
Yeah.
And then I pull up, and then she goes, what do you mean? I was like, listen, lady. Trip's over. Get the fuck out of the car. Oh my God. She gets out of the car.
Is this that video that I saw?
No.
Oh,
fuck that bitch. That's another crazy story. Where,
right.
Oh my God.
All right, okay.
Oh
anyway,
my God. That's
Trip's
another
over.
crazy.
Get out of the car.
I go to my
1
Bank
star.
of America. $8,500.
Okay.
I immediately go fucking cash that shit.
Okay.
Immediately. And I'm like.
Yeah, I bet.
At the fucking, I'm like, there's no way they picked me, bro. Like, I'm like, there's no way.
Oh.
And this motherfucker's texting me. Fucking, he usually texts me back after maybe a day, 3 days, but he just keeps texting me. Hey, Fanto, did you get the email? Because the thing is, they're using that they have your address.
Yeah.
That he goes, because I remember a couple times he confirmed that. This is where you live, correct?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, this is where I live. Whatever.
Yeah.
So I get fucking 8.5, and then he's texting me. He goes, all right, so keep the 1,000 to yourself, and then send the 7.5 to this routing number.
Okay. Yeah.
Account number or routing number?
Both. Yeah. You're wiring.
I go. Yeah, man. Just quick question. Who is it for? Do I need a name because I don't know how to do this banking? I used to be a fucking personal banker.
Yeah, but really, like, you don't want to. Like,
no. I'm just acting like a retard.
Yeah,
I was like, so do I need to put a name to this? Who is this person? I actually don't feel comfortable sending this money.
Yeah.
Can I give it to the person? He's like, no. It's we need a very quick.
Yeah.
We need it very quickly because it's time to start the shoot, and it's gonna be such a great shoot. He says all these names. He fucked up because he said like Kate Winslet or Kate Beckinsale or the fucking whatever. I'm like, oh, that's cool, man. All right, so what's the name of the person? This girl. She goes, just put it on the routing number. I go, you sure? Because I don't know. And I go, all right, I'll do it right now. I'll text you. So I go home. I don't fucking do none of that shit. And then he texts me the next day, maybe like 15 times. I wake up. And then he goes, hey, did you send it? I was like, yeah, man, I'm just having trouble, like what if it goes to the wrong person?
Yeah.
Who's this person?
Yeah.
That I have to send it to? And I go, I'm calling you. Can I talk to you? And he comes, same guy.
Yeah.
I go, hey man, who am I sending it to? He goes, you're sending it to Cheryl. He goes, you're sending it to Cheryl something. I go, hey man, the money's mine now. I go, I don't know who the fuck you think I was, man. I go, your name is not fucking Jaime Quintero.
Holy shit.
Holy shit. Flip the switch. Okay.
Boss move, by the way.
I can't believe. See, here's the thing that what I want to understand is like, because I've heard of this happening to people before where they get the money and then they send it out. It's that if you leave it in your account, then they can pull it back out of your account, right? Because
but my account is like.
But you pulled it out already. You have the cash.
Every other day, Bank of America sends me an account saying your account is under 25, and I'm like, motherfucker, my account's never been over 25.
Yeah,
doggy.
Right.
Like I don't have. It's fucking.
Right, but what I'm saying is you took
the
cash
out.
So
I only do cash.
Like,
I only do cash. To be a fucking.
But you got to keep that fucking money?
Listen, this story's not over.
Oh my God. Yeah. Please tell me more. This is crazy town.
So, say.
No, I'm fascinated.
Yeah.
I've never heard of this working out in favor of someone in your position.
We don't know yet. Let's see.
I swear on my father's grave, as I'm telling the story, I feel like I'm making this shit up.
Yeah.
But
sounds
I'm
crazy.
I believe it.
I believe you, dude. Yeah.
And
but I can show you.
Yeah.
Like, you can send him your stuff, and you will most likely get some money.
Also, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
No, 100%. Like I used to like.
It's not like you stole from a charity or something.
Yeah.
I've stolen from charities, but this is like I've done some awful shit in my life, man.
So
that's why I'm a comic. I'm just trying to make people laugh so I can.
Okay, so the money's mine now.
So I go, all right. He goes, send it to Cheryl something. He says some fucking. I was like, hey man, is this Jaime Quintero? He goes, yeah. I go, hey, listen, the money's mine now. He goes, excuse me. I go, you know what I'm talking about. You thought you could fucking
rip me off, yeah.
You thought you could fuck me over. He hangs up. He immediately hangs up. Doesn't say like fucking, doesn't text, and I go, hey man, are you there? And then 2 days later he goes, yes. I go, what's your real name? And then nothing. And so now I'm fucking, and I used to do like a lot of coke. This is a couple of years ago. I used to always trip out. So I was always like fucking, I was going through shit in my life. So now I was like, fuck, what if these guys are, I mean, I don't know who these guys are.
But they know where your address is.
They know where my cousin's address is.
Yeah, oh, okay.
Because I don't want anything to happen to my cousin because my cousin already has a strike.
Right.
And he's a fucking maniac.
Oh,
and my other cousin's a maniac, but my aunt lives there and my other female cousin lives there. Sometimes she comes in and I don't want anything to happen.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck, because I wasn't on the best terms with my cousin because he just came out of prison after doing like several years and I didn't visit him because I was so fucking tired of visiting him all the time, and he just always doing some shit. It's whatever it is.
Yeah.
So, but I can't tell anyone. So, and I'm like, I don't want anything to happen to fucking him.
Yeah.
Because so some shit happened. We were driving. I go, hey man, I gotta tell you something, homie. He's like, what's up, dog? I go, so this shit happened. Blah blah blah, and so I got this money, blah blah blah. But I gave him your address, and I go, I don't know if they're gonna come here or whatever, because I'm still gonna be staying with you guys for the next maybe couple weeks.
Yeah.
I just want you. He goes, hey homie, don't even fucking trip, dog. Like ain't nobody's gonna come here, homie. I got a fucking strap, and unless they want to come in. He goes, I did see like a black dude in an old ass Honda just driving by, and he goes, he really stood out, because North Hollywood, you know that area is like it's a cul-de-sac, and unless you live there or unless you're fucking undercover or anything, he goes, there's like an old ass fucking Civic. And I go, when was it? He goes, when he came, it was like all the homies were posted, so they're all fucking look dangerous and shit, you know. So he's like, fuck, this is the wrong house.
Yeah, he picked the wrong guy to try to rip off, dude. Yeah.
So and then so time passed, and then he said maybe like a month passed. He said some motherfucker stole his weights from the garage. He had left it like the weight, but he had like a like some, you know. And so I'm not sure if it was those motherfuckers, but and that was like the only week where his dogs were with me, and then because he has 2 fucking German Shepherds, boy and a girl, and no one was like, there's usually always someone home,
right?
So and that's so far, you know, that's what happened. So I just came up and I said, hey man, let me give you like half. He's like, don't ever fucking say that disrespectful shit. He goes, man, if anything happens, bro, if it's your problem, it's my fucking problem.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, and then he went to jail. So. Oh
boy, not because of that though.
No.
So is that the end of the story?
That is the end.
So
of
you
the
got
story.
to fucking keep the money?
Yeah.
Ah! Okay, so
8.5, dog.
So this rip off that ass motherfucker learned the hard way. Do not rip off the wrong person, because guess what? You lost $8,500.
Yeah,
bro. Next time,
I don't know if he lost. I feel like, imagine how much fucking how much access they have to how much money, where they've done it to so many nice people like yourself,
right?
Who think, oh, they
no, but here's the thing. I had a similar story like that, like where I was selling like a piece of furniture on Craigslist, and I was selling it for $500, and they sent me a check for $3,000, and I was like, this is a scam, and I didn't cash it, and I was like, bye. But if I would have known, if I would have just cashed it and taken it straight out, and I could have just been like, sorry, bro, shouldn't have ruined it. You shouldn't have screwed me over. You just don't leave it in your account, and then you can keep the money. Guys, we learned. Next time you get ripped off, take that money, pull it out of your account, tell them what's up.
Yeah.
Is my money now, motherfuckers. Oh man, I can't wait for the next person to rip me off. I'm gonna pull a Fanto.
So listen, I'll tell you guys the email off fucking air. You can email it to them and then see what happens. Oh
yeah, and you can also give them the wrong address too.
You can give them a wrong address, and
we are committing crimes live here.
because I sent it to one other guy, and then I never spoke to him, because I said, hey, listen, I saw him a couple of times do comedy, but I just saw him at a bless you. I saw him when I was an extra. I go, hey man, here's the thing. Send your headshots, but if you get money, I want like a couple G's.
Oh my God, you're starting your own mini scam to scam back the scammer. It's like
Peter
Pan, dude.
I never saw him.
Scammer Inception.
Robin Hood.
I never saw him again.
Wow.
So I'm pretty sure, you know, because they don't know if they've done it so many times. They have no idea if you know me.
Yeah.
Because it's 2 years have passed.
Yeah. That's crazy, dude.
And then the party line was...
I hope this story, you're the one that made a mistake and got screwed. But it's okay if you're not. I mean, we're still learning lessons here. But
I think
if Fanto wins again, I'm going to make him tell a story where he loses. I'm going to make you tell your jail story. All right.
No. The deep story is I should have forgiven my cousin long time ago, you know.
What, the one that went back to jail?
Yeah, because of ego. Because you always learn that, you know, you never know who the people that care for you are.
And you learned that then because of the like.
Yeah, because he
didn't want half the money.
No,
he was
said,
like, if it's your problem, it's my problem. That's really
cool.
That's really cool of him to do that. And most people won't do that. So yeah, I like that.
You know, the Soviets, we stick together, and then we manipulate nice nice girls from.
Nobody trusts Fanto. So, tell us about the party line.
So the party line, I met up. I didn't meet up this chick. So we met over the phone, and then she said, "Oh, I look like this, blah blah blah." So this was before phones. She sounded very
before
pretty.
cell phones, yeah.
Before cell phones, house phone.
So you were like 11, you said.
I was 13, 14.
Jeez.
I was 13,
Growing
14.
up fast over there.
So something. So I said, hey, where you guys at? And she was like, we're in like Pomona. Okay. And Pomona's far, but it's the ghetto. Especially back then, it was the hood. So I was like, all right, so I'm gonna come with a friend, just be with a homegirl. She goes, all right, cool. And then I went with a friend and we got robbed.
Ah.
Yeah, she had her homies and her brothers who were from fucking that hood. They fucking robbed us.
Oh my God. So you thought you were going on a date and you got robbed. Yeah. So
and she was 15, 16 years old.
What did you have to get robbed from you? And you were like robbed at gunpoint and shit or what?
Yeah, he had his hand in his hoodie, but it was just like 6 dudes came out. What's up, fool? Give me all your shit. Give me all your shit.
God.
And then and we just say, hey homie, take it, whatever. And then we had to get a quarter from this 70 some liquor store owner just so we can call my mom and fucking, you know, tell her, hey, can you come pick us up? And then we told her, and then my older brother found out, and he was just out of juvie, and he was like, oh, so, and then some shit happened after that I can't say because.
Yeah, but why did you but also, first of all, why did you bring your friend on a date with you to begin with?
Because I didn't want to take the bus alone.
Oh,
I'm 14 and he was like 16.
Yeah.
He was a neighbor. We were just fucking like this was where the shit happened on the bus.
Oh my God.
Like you took the bus. There was no Uber.
Yeah.
So when people are fucking talking about gangbanging, like now you can't fucking talk about gangbanging when there's Uber and Lyft.
What does that mean?
Because back then, if you were dressed in a certain way, you had to go to different neighborhoods and you had to walk or get on the bus. And guess what? Guess who else is on the bus? People that you don't fuck with.
Oh my God.
You know, when people come in like, oh, LA's a bunch of fucking weirdos and hipsters, that's not what LA used to be like, doggy. Like, it's like, that's why we got robbed. That's why we got stabbed. That's why we got fucking beat up. That's why we got shot at, because that's what it was. You took the bus. And you got set up by a girl. Like, that girl set us up, and then we had homegirls that set other people up from rival gangs.
Yeah.
Like, that's what they do. Yeah. Like, girls are as evil as men are, except whenever shit hits the fan, girls are like, oh, I'm a lady. I'm a lady.
Never do that.
I'm a vagina. I'm a vagina. Don't. Oh, my God. No. Fucking bitches are evil. They're actually more evil. Because... That's why I fucking love you, because it's like this is real life, man.
No, but you're right though that like the girls will be used to set up for the gangs, and like I don't have like as crazy of like actually people robbing people.
You don't have to.
But I did do something like that for friends of mine when I was in high school, because of like we had like groups and they were against each other, and it sucked because I knew this dude.
You disgust me.
No, but it didn't work because the guys were little bitches, and it was hilarious because. It was like everybody had like, I feel like in South Florida in my group, like one time these kids had this like big idea that they were going to like beat this guy up or at least confront him and like bring him to a position where he was like not with his really big friend.
Yeah.
So like they were like, if we can like talk to him alone and like, you know, show him that we're like badasses if he's alone by himself, but we have to get him outside, and we know he won't come outside or he'll call his friend David over if he sees us. So like
David.
So you have to like, since he knows you from middle school, I hadn't talked to this kid in years, you know, say you're going to buy some weed from him because he sold weed. And then when he opens the door, we'll like run up and be like, what's up, fool? What's up?
What's up, fool?
Yeah. What's up, fool?
Hey, buddy.
Yeah. Bro, man, I'm mad. So
guess who's back?
So, but check this out. Look what ends up happening. So I go do that.
Ah, fuck, it's so hot in here.
I go do that. And
I feel like I'm in a fucking
we can open the door
jewelry store.
So I go up and do it, and then instead of like just like bringing me the weed and handing it to me.
How old were you?
14, 15.
Damn, you were also wild early.
Yeah. So but
that's
like
fucking,
so I go up to like, and instead of like just handing me the weed, first of all they don't even come up, and I'm like okay, and then he's like, hey, want to come in and smoke? And I'm like, I guess. And so now I'm like in the house, and he's like giving me a beer. He's like smoking weed with me, and I'm like, this isn't even my fight. What the fuck? And they also were just like nowhere to be found when like the thing that happened, which was the dude being at the door, happened. They just didn't come out, you know? And I was like, okay. And so now I'm like texting him. I'm like, thing is off. This is like shitty, because I felt so shitty that I was like being phony, and then he was gonna he was like giving me free shit, and I was about to like set him up, so I felt like a dick. So I'm like trying to cancel it from inside. I'm like, it's off. This is bullshit. This is stupid. And then of course, like,
I knew you had some fucking dirty criminal side to you.
Oh yeah, of course. I go outside when I'm finally leaving. I'm like, I gotta go. They finally run up, and now he realizes that like I set him up, and I'm like, great.
Wow.
And nothing happens at all. Like nothing happens. He runs inside to like probably get a gun, and these kids don't have a gun.
This was Florida?
Yeah. And then so then we like leave, and then this was my problem for several weeks at parties because dudes trying to fight me for doing that.
So listen, it's fucking one of the most, and I don't like using the word traumatizing because that's just some pussy shit, but once you get robbed, it's the most naked feeling ever.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like I said, I don't even, there's so much, I just can't say so much shit, but it's like you just want someone to pay for it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter who, as long as they look like them, as long as they remind you of them, as long as they're from the same hood, as long as they're from the same area, as long as hopefully.
That's how like these rivalries start, because you're not even getting the same person.
And it's revenge is so incredible. It's so delicious that to this day you have these fucking gangs who are just ruining lives and families and communities because this feeling of like someone wronged you and you're so hurt and you have to pay them back, and then you pay someone else that doesn't deserve it, and it just comes, it's like war. It's everything
just a
else.
cycle. Yeah,
but this cycle will always be there until the end of time.
Yeah,
until the end of time, when aliens come, when there's no more fucking geography, when everyone is sharing the same, it's always going to be there. So when people are talking about, oh, you can't say this, or oh, you can't do this, no. Fucking, there's always going to be, life is dirty, it's cruel, and there's tiny moments of beauty and kindness and warmth, but it's mostly awful. So it's like you have to share the good parts, and you try to expect the best from people while being alert.
Yeah.
Because being alert, it's like, it doesn't mean that person's going to do something, but it's just like in case they do. And it's also, it's like whenever the people are married, the fear of prenup always makes them respect each other more.
I think prenups are great because it's like, let's just be realistic. Where you are right now is not going to be, it's definitely not going to be where you are in 2, 3, 5, 10 years from now. Like, you never know what's going to happen, and that's not to say a person's going to screw you over, but like, you can't predict.
But the woman is always going to screw you over, especially in California and New York, because after 10 years it's common law.
Not necessarily. It's just, to me, it's like, why not be smart and not naive and say, let's not pretend we're not going to find things we hate about each other, or we're not going to be unreasonable at some point. Let's protect ourselves at least and make the prenup be equal.
Yeah.
Like I have a lot of debt. Like, if I married Travis tomorrow, I would sign a prenup that said, you're not responsible for this debt of mine that I had before.
You guys make a cute couple.
Like, yeah, but like, that's like something that I don't think is unreasonable, because who knows, I don't think I would ever do this, but who knows if like 5 years down the line, he doesn't piss me off enough that I'm like, you know what, fuck you, you have to pay half of this. And I don't think I'm the person that would do that, but like, just in case, I'm not gonna, because I know that like, with my ex, like I definitely got screwed over plenty, and I had to be really nice to make sure he wasn't going to be entitled, because at the end of the day, I made the money and he didn't, and he was entitled and lazy enough to screw me over. And I'm like, if I make him mad, he's going to make me pay for him. And I even remember getting them to waive the $500 divorce fee, and we both filled out the paper, and they're like, you don't have to pay. He doesn't have to pay, but you do. And I was like, want to ask him why he doesn't have any fucking money? Because he won't get a job. And it's like, that's bullshit. And it's like, I now have to like take care of this person that's a deadbeat, because why? Because he's a fucking asshole? Yeah.
Well, now you know how men feel.
We're going to have to do a round 2, because I'm sure we have a lot more stories of this. Yeah.
So what did we learn today? Russian, Bahraini Jews are not criminals.
No,
women are evil.
No, they are criminals.
Men are evil.
We learned,
and don't go to backstage.
What is it? Backstage.
Backstage. That's I heard that's the bad.
The lesson is if you get,
LA casting only actors access, but I still don't book shit.
If you see a scam coming in,
you're not gonna see the fucking scam.
No, if you see somebody sending you money and they're telling you to send it somewhere else, that's a scam. But do it.
Give me half.
The cash.
Give me half.
Give Fanto half.
Thank you for having me, you guys.
Is there anything you want to promote before we go? This will not be out Tuesday. It'll be out the following Tuesday.
Just my YouTube channel.
All right, what's your YouTube channel?
Fanto.
And then I'll want a Fanto, like Fanto.
WANNAFANTO.
Yeah, and I'll put the links there. And another thing, guys, there's Hardway Pod merch now. I've got a bunch of different merch. Like if you see the video, you see this shirt. It's like a Daria shirt that I designed.
Oh, that's you?
Yeah, but instead of Sick Sad World, it's la 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 la, like the theme song.
Do you have better designs?
Yes, I have plenty. I don't know if you're gonna think they're better. I've got plenty of things on there.
I'll buy it.
Hardway Pod stuff, other shit. I just did some merch for Travis's band that I just put up there. So lots of cool stuff. It's merchbymolder.com.
Can I request your services? We'll talk offline.
Yeah, for sure. And thank you, Fanto, for coming.
Thank you guys for having us.
Thank you, Alex, for giving us some input.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah.
He should have given input. He made the shit better.
Oh.
Not too much better, but
well,
a little
it's because Fanto doesn't respect women, so he didn't think I could handle it by myself.
Yeah.
That's fine. All right.
I'm just like a little bonus garnish,
Thank
you know?
I think it's always fun to have more people giving input. For
I appreciate it.
Cool.
I mean, I'm here running the sound anyway. I might as well, you know.
Totally. All right. Well,
more informed people.
Thank you for coming.
All right, we don't want Mike Mazzalotti to fucking chime in.
Yeah. He doesn't.
Shout out to all the Mikes and Nolans and everyone.
Shout out to Third Wheel Podcast Studio.
Let's start my own podcast, guys. Stop fucking around.
All right. Love you guys. See you next week.